So, the election's coming up soon, right? So, now I wanted to come here and try to convince you on why voting is important. So, originally, back in colonial times and such, a lot of people didn't have the right to vote. Literally, there was only people who were allowed to vote were white males who either paid taxes or owned land, which was equivalent to only 6% of the population. So only 6% of the population could vote, compared to what is now, where almost everybody can vote. Now, women, white women particularly, they didn't gain their right to vote until 1990, which with the 19th Amendment, which got rid of discrimination based off of sex when it comes to voting and such. But African Americans and other minority groups didn't gain the right to vote until 1965 by the Voting Rights Act, which was passed by Lyndon B. Johnson, showed right here. So you see right here, you got the people in the back, you got us Lyndon signing it as the other court members and such. So another thing is, if you don't vote, your voice isn't heard. That's another reason why voting is important. So what that means is, when your voice isn't heard, if you have a problem with what's going on in the government, you can't do anything about it because your voice isn't heard. That's why originally they stopped certain people from voting, because they believed those people should not have a say in the government, like women, other minority groups, or people who didn't pay for land. But that's changed now. So your vote matters. Lastly, why voting is important is that it helps maintain those rights. So for example, if you don't vote, you can leave it up to anybody. So let's say you believe in something like climate change. If you don't vote, then that means someone else who doesn't believe in climate change can vote somebody who doesn't believe in climate change. Or if you believe in something like equal rights or that, someone else who doesn't believe in equal rights could vote somebody in there who doesn't believe about it. So you don't want to have that happen to you. You want to be able to maintain all your rights and such. So that's what I have to say about why voting is important. Because voting, it helps you maintain your rights. And also it helps you protect those around you. Because if you don't vote, like I said, you're leaving it up to whatever happens. And you don't want somebody who doesn't support you in office. So it's better to always vote for the proper candidate. Any questions?
So you're saying that it's important to vote because we want to have someone who's representative of our views in office, or who's going to vote for us? Is that what you're saying? Is that why you're trying to convince us that voting is important and that we should exercise our right to vote?
Yes, I'm saying that you should vote somebody who's going to support your ideology, what you like what you think is going to be good for the country for the next 4 or 8 years, and what can help your kids down the line.
So are you saying that it's important to vote only? Is it important to only vote for the presidential elections, or is it also important, you're also recommending that we vote in the local elections as well?
It's also important to vote in the local elections and such, because your mayor and stuff, that leads your city, your county, so it's important to vote those people. It's important to participate in all votes, really, because if you're participating in a vote, that means that you're helping make a decision. And even as one person, you can be one person, you can make a big difference. For women's rights, for example, that decision was made by one vote. That's the only way it got passed. If it wasn't for that one vote, then women may or may not have their rights now.
So you're saying every